Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Hello and welcome to the Real Ramblers. I am Bill Howard, and that right there, do you see him? Do you see him? You can't see him because he's a ghost. It's Lee Howard.
I ain't afraid of no me. What an idiot.
Oh, man. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Real Ramblers. This week, we're going to discuss probably one of my favorite horror subgenres, which is the haunted house film.
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to say up front, I know, guaranteed, that some of you listening will be like, why didn't you talk about this? Why didn't you talk about that?
For
Because
sure.
there's a lot of haunted house movies.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's also like, where do you draw the line between, is it a haunted house movie or is it a ghost movie?
Yeah.
You know, or is it a scary movie that takes place, or possessed person, or a movie that takes place in a creepy house, but isn't necessarily a haunted house.
Right. Like Home Alone. Like Home Alone.
Like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll make it a little broad to include a couple things that I think fall in there. And, what I say goes.
It's our show.
Yeah, whatever. If
Go
I
fuck yourself.
if I decide that it goes there, then it goes there.
Yeah.
All right.
Then
so,
it ghosts there. Anyway.
Goes there. Okay, I like doing this when we're talking about stuff like this. When I say haunted house film, first film pops into your mind.
Conjuring?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe just because it's newer. It's hard because it's like Conjuring or maybe like The Changeling. Even though it's been a million years since I've watched The Changeling and I really need to give that a rewatch.
Holds up brilliantly.
Yeah.
I watch it at least a few times a year.
Nice.
And,
George C. Scott, man.
One of the greatest actors of all time, and I think it's his best performance
Nice.
because it's so underplayed and sad. And I just love him in it. And every time something happens to him in it, we'll just start with The Changeling.
Sure.
1980, Peter Medak.
Dylan McDermott. Call back to season 1. That's
Trish
for the real fans.
Vanderveer. Anyway, it's the thing I love is every time something happens that's like supernatural and oh my God, is this really happening to me? Scott's face. Nobody can sell it like Scott. And his face is just like, you read so many emotions going through his eyes when these things happen. And the story is so sad. One of the things technically that amazes me about The Changeling is that the gigantic mansion, he's a music professor who moves to this new town after a tragic accident where he lost his wife and his daughter. So he's in this new town teaching. He's very well-known composer in this world. And he rents a historic house to live in. So the incredible thing is this house is massive and like, Gothic style, Victorian or whatever. But the cool thing is the entire interior and exterior of the house in the movie was a set.
I didn't know that.
It blows my mind just like finding out that all the Overlook Hotel stuff was a set.
Right.
Because they're so massive.
That's a haunted house story, technically.
It is.
Well,
it's on my list, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very intricate design in the house, and it's hard to believe when you watch the movie that it's a set because it's very convincing. I know we often talk about in possession movies, you talk about the voices of the possessed and how only a few movies have got it right.
Yeah.
I think The Changeling is one of the few movies that got the voice of a ghost right. Because this little boy's voice is haunting.
Yeah.
Like there's one of the first scenes that he hears the boy's voice is he's recording on a reel-to-reel himself playing piano, making a composition. And when he plays it back, he hears the boy's voice and it's creepy as shit. And he ends up asking some friends about it and they arrange a seance at his house. The seance scene is so unnerving and scary. Like you feel cold when you watch it. It's terrifying. And the same thing happens there. He listens to the recordings afterwards and when the medium would say, "What's your name?" they wouldn't hear anything.
Right.
But when he listens back, he hears the boy's name talking and it's super creepy. And then when you find out the story behind the ghost boy,
I kind of remember
don't want to ruin it, even though it's from 1980.
Yeah. I kind of remember that. I just don't necessarily remember the circumstances.
Yeah,
but yeah.
when it unfolds, it's really tragic and sad and brilliant.
Cool.
The Changeling, I think, is the greatest ghost story ever put to film.
Is that your like go-to if someone's like haunted house movie?
Yeah,
Boom, that's what you
Changeling.
think of. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
As far as movies,
Yeah.
because like it is a TV series, but obviously Haunting of Hill House is like it's a series, but it's fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The
movies,
Conjurings do come to mind for me too because I love them.
Yeah.
And I love all three. A lot of people hate the third one, and I
I'd have
really
to
liked
give it a
it.
rewatch. I didn't like it as much as the other ones.
I think give it a rewatch because I think a lot of people weren't ready for it to be so different from the first two.
Probably, yeah.
And it's also based on a real case. And it's if you watch it again, I think you'd appreciate it more because it's really good.
And I love both of them so much.
Oh, they're so good.
Yep.
And I'd have a tough time picking a favorite between the two because I really like the second one.
Me too.
And I
They're
think
both so good.
The real case, I've read a lot about the real case in the second
Enfield
one.
Haunting, I think. Enfield
Yeah, the
Haunting?
Enfield Haunting. And I've always felt a real connection with that case. And
It's because the ghost in it's named Bill.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my God.
That's how I say my name when I'm like at a like somebody asks for my ID. They're like, "Can I have your ID, sir?" And I go, "Oh, I'm Bill." And I put it down, and they're like, "Take it easy,
Like,
sir."
That is unnecessary.
They're like, "That's not.
Sir,
you
this
don't
is a
have to do
Wendy's.
that." Yeah, this is Wendy. Why would Wendy's be asking for my ID?
They did it. They're just like, how can I help you?
Or maybe it's
Bill.
Starbucks where they're like, "What's your name? Can I have your name for the cup?" Oh, Bill.
So they write
And
it in
they're
all
"Whoa,
caps.
Okay, easy. God, you sure you need a coffee, sir? Okay, so the Conjurings are brilliant. Everybody's in it. James Wan, brilliant.
Oh, God, yeah.
I believe he just started filming the new
New
and
one,
last one.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I
for
just
that.
saw, I think Patrick Wilson posted a photo of like his chair and Vera's chair together or whatever.
Yeah. Looking forward to it because they're brilliant together.
Love them, yeah.
Regardless of what anybody thinks of the Warrens in real life, their on-screen Warrens are are beautiful. I love them.
Fictional Warren's great.
Yeah. Another one that's always top of mind for me is Poltergeist.
Yeah, I wrote Poltergeist 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen 2 for a long time, and maybe I'm just remembering fucking Reverend Kane because he's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't really remember much about.
Do you know apparently that actor was like riddled with cancer when he did that?
And it makes sense now because he certainly looks like it. Like he looks like he's wasting
Two's
away.
fun. I enjoy 2.
I don't remember much about it. I'm not going to lie.
3's crap.
Yeah, 3's not very good.
2 is fun, but I think it has more hokiness in it than 1. And 1 to me is just
it's a great haunted house movie. Like,
yeah, it's the family is so real.
Yep.
The build up is awesome.
Yeah.
Like they take a lot of time. It's a very Spielberg build up, even though it wasn't Spielberg. But I mean, he produced it and it had his fingerprints on it.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, the build up of all the family, them get the parents getting high in the bedroom, and the neighbors with the TV remote and everything. That was great. When they went to their neighbors and they're like, "Hey, Bob, has any of your furniture been moving around?" It's great.
Yeah.
And then once it hits, when they get the investigators in, it's like
that movie traumatized like anybody that saw that from the 80s up. It's like people are either afraid of clowns because of that movie or fucking trees because of that movie.
Swimming pools.
Yeah. It's like it began a lot lot of people's fears and traumas because of that movie. That was PG.
And
although
Heather
PG
O'Rourke,
back then
Heather
was
O'Rourke
different than PG
great.
now.
Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams are like right up there with 80s fictional parents as being awesome.
And I mean, what person doesn't know the like, stay away from the light.
Yeah.
Or walk into the
Zelda
light.
Rubinstein was classic.
Like people know just those
what
lines.
an icon of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poltergeist is fucking great.
Yeah.
I really
all
don't
the effects were great and still hold up. Like when you watch Poltergeist now, the effects are still
the face
phenomenal.
ripping part is like, that scared the shit out of me as a kid, honestly. Like that was really horrifying.
Yeah, me too. The ghosts coming down the stairs are still haunting, and the fact that the music is all kind of light when that's happening, it's it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Was part 2 where he drank that like worm in the tequila and barfed up that weirdo thing?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that was 2.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stick with some classics.
Sure.
Amityville Horror.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on the cheesy side, but I still love it.
Yeah, there's something just like weird, like unsettling about it.
Yeah.
Like the feel of the movie. Maybe it's, again, like when I saw it when I was really, really little.
Yeah.
It scared me, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't hold up now, but just the feeling that I had watching it as a kid has carried over.
I still get little goosebumps when the Get Out scene happens.
Totally.
That's Rod Steiger sold it like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And the voice, the fact that the mix in the movie, it's always like the last Get Out is too loud for the disc.
Yep.
And it's always funny when I'm watching it again on Blu-ray or whatever. It's like when that last Get Out happens, it's like I have to turn down my stereo. Because it's like unnerving.
I remember when it was just like me, you, and Dad living at the house.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you were, work maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Dad was at work and I came home from school and I was like, I'm going to put Amityville Horror on. And I was eating, and it came on that scene. Also, all the flies are disgusting.
Yeah.
And I was eating like a kid does, a can of beefaroni cold.
Yeah.
And it's like, as all the flies were happening, and then it was like, get out! And then I was just like, I can't eat this beefaroni anymore for years. And I was just like, I gotta turn this movie off. It traumatized me.
Yeah, it has a level of cheesiness, but it's
much.
great. Like James Brolin is over the top, but in the best way.
Yeah.
Margot Kidder's great in it. It's awesome. I love it. And just that house is so iconic.
Absolutely,
and cool, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
The Haunting from 1963 is still great.
I feel like I saw it a really, really long time ago as well.
It was so understated and just unsettling. The scene that always sticks with me is the two girls are scared because there's the banging on the walls. It's very similar to Changeling.
Right.
And then they hear something at the door and something in the hallway. And then the door starts going like and bending in.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
And they're terrified. And then it goes away.
Huh.
But it's a movie that did a lot with not showing you anything.
Cool. That's great. I love that.
And it's still scary. A lot of people love House on Haunted Hill, the 90s one. I wasn't big on it.
Yeah, I confused it because there was a House on Haunted Hill and there was The Haunting. And like a 90s one as well.
Oh, yeah. That was the remake of The Haunting with
Owen Wilson and Catherine Zeta-Jones, right? Was that that one?
And from The Conjuring, the mom from The Conjuring, Lily Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so over the top.
That's when like CG was like kind of like, hey, look at this new thing we can do. And it looked like fucking Roger Rabbit style, like goofy shit. What was the other one?
House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah, who was in that one?
Jeffrey Rush. And it was about these people all brought to a house to, I think they win money if they stay overnight or something. Anyway, didn't care for it. I know I
saw it, but
the original House on Haunted Hill, which is 50s, is good.
Right.
It's got some cool moments, but I was never a big fan of that one.
Huh.
I don't know if you could consider Evil Dead a haunted house.
I wrote that down because it's like kind of. I mean, it's like it is like a haunted house, but it's also people kind of now class it as a cabin in the woods kind of movie. But it kind of is.
But a cabin in the woods is still a house.
Same with like the Shining, like we said earlier. It's a
The
haunted.
Shining, I think, definitely falls in because it's 100%. Like if you leave if you leave the Overlook, you'll be okay.
Yeah,
because it's the Overlook that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's definitely falls in haunted house.
Yeah, for sure.
Older stuff, The Legend of Hell House from the 70s.
Oh, I never saw that.
Roddy McDowall is great.
Huh.
There's an old one called The Sentinel. Really great. It was kind of around the era of Giallo and Argento and Fulci movies.
I can never say that word.
But it's what, Giallo?
Yeah, I can never like those movies with the guys with the black gloves, the gigolos, whatever they call the jiggly jellos. You know, the jiggly jellos.
You just gotta. The funny thing is, if you're Italian and you say it, it just sounds like Jello.
Jello, yeah, okay.
Because there's Jello.
Yeah,
it's Jello.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to seem cool at a party of movie people, then just say it with that accent and be like, I really dig Jello movies. And they'll be like, oh, he pronounced it right. He's fancy.
Like I leave the house and go to parties.
I know. Another one of my favorites is Burnt Offerings, I think, late 70s with Oliver Reed.
His name has 5 E's and a question mark at the end.
And Karen Black.
Okay.
And again, over the top, but super cool and super creepy. Really great. And Betty Davis is the grandma in it, which is great because she was super old at the time.
Right.
But she's great in it. And it's kind of Amityville-ish in that it kind of starts driving the people who are there mad.
Okay, cool.
Really good, though. And I just recently watched a haunted house one that I'd never seen before from the 80s called The Evil with Richard Crenna.
Wow, no kidding.
And I loved it. It's super cheese,
right?
But in a great way. Unexpected ending. It's super fun. It's on our list, Jay and I, for movie night soon. but I really dug it.
I remember when I was young watching that movie, The Entity, because that's a haunted house movie, right? Kind of?
Yeah, more of a
haunted person. Okay, yeah.
But yeah.
Because I remember even as a kid, it seemed like creepy and weird and stuff like that. And then it was like halfway interesting where they're like, we're going to like trick this fucking demon ghost and like build a set that looks like your house to try and trap it. And like, we're going to freeze it. And as a kid, I'm like, freezing a ghost? Stupid.
I also made notes. I forgot about that movie, The Sentinel.
Right.
It was 1977, so it was the same year as Suspiria.
Oh, wow.
And it was directed by Michael Winner, who directed the Death Wish movies.
Oh, shit.
Which is weird. Huh. But it was Ava Gardner, Burgess Meredith.
Oh, wow.
And Chris Sarandon.
Hey.
That's the movie I was thinking of. And it's about a Brooklyn brownstone that's a gateway to hell.
Neat.
And it's super cool. All the neighbors are like super weird and creepy.
Love it.
Heavy atmosphere and really creepy. Great movie.
Nice.
So there's lots of other ones we could go through. I mean, the Insidious movies.
Yep. Yeah.
The Paranormal Activities, of course, which we both love.
Totally. I mean, yeah. We didn't do an episode just on those movies, did we? I don't think so. I don't know now.
I don't know. I feel like we did.
A part of me feels like maybe we did, but I love.
We both have terrible memories, folks.
Right. Where am I? Yeah, I love because again, that's kind of a haunted person, not so much the house, but like a demon.
Yeah,
but also I think it plays into haunted house as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah,
the Insidiouses are this kind of the same. It's but they're definitely. But I mean, they moved and it followed them.
Yeah,
but still. I mean, it did in Poltergeist too.
Yep,
so
that's true.
So yeah,
it's like I think you can like kind of fucking bend the like that's still a haunted house movie. It's fine.
yeah. Do you have any you want to throw in? I still have lots more.
Yeah, Crimson Peak, another one.
That was my next one.
Oh, nice. I love Crimson Peak. I feel like it's kind of underrated, like not talked about.
Me too,
or whatever. And it's like it looks incredible.
One of the most gorgeous movies.
Oh my god,
ever.
that house and like the fucking snow coming down in the middle of it, like,
and maybe the best looking ghosts in modern film.
So good, yeah. The red, fucking. Oh my god, it's so
and the
cool.
fact that they were real people, just digitally enhanced.
Oh yeah, Doug.
Yeah, they were totally scary.
My best friend Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And just like Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain and God, I can't remember her name.
Mia
something or other.
Wasachowski.
Yes.
Something like that.
But the whole cast is, I mean, it's fucking Guillermo, right? So, so I really, really like Crimson Peak, and I don't think
you must be really looking forward to Frankenstein.
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. Yeah. So excited.
I love Guillermo. Can't wait.
What else did I write? This one, it's funny. This one has a huge cult following, but I could never super get into it.
Okay, interesting.
Was that 13 Ghosts?
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I've never
tried to start.
People are nuts for it.
They love it. And I tried to start watching it again semi-recently in the last month or so, and I turned it off for whatever reason. Maybe I had to go out. I don't know. But it's like, it's just, and I don't know what it is. It's not like, it's just too... There's a thing. This is kind
I find it very pedestrian. It just seems like if you're
Fraser Crane over here,
if you're one of those people that's like, I really like horror movies, but you haven't seen any real horror movies.
Yeah.
That's what you like.
Yeah, and it's like I know that people like the different ghosts or whatever, but they seem a little bit more like kind of like wannabe Cenobites to me.
Yeah,
and there's a thing that this is kind of my own personal thing that I don't love sometimes, especially in horror movies, is when there's like specific technology used. It dates the movie for me, you know? So it's like once upon a time, I'm sure people thought Fear.com was a cool movie, but it seems so fucking stupid now because it's like early days of the internet. So I don't know what it is.
You know what I always pair up with 13 Ghosts? It's another movie with a huge cult following and I've never appreciated it, is The Frighteners.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Doesn't do anything for me.
I remember I liked it when I first saw it, but I haven't watched it for a long time.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because I like fucking love Michael J. Fox so much. And it's like the fact that he was in kind of like a horror movie was like, whoa. But I'd have to watch it again, I bet.
He was good, but the movie itself did nothing for me.
Yeah.
But that's where I've said before when we've been talking about stuff that I always kind of have the unpopular opinion. And it's like, we could go through the list of things that people love, cult movies, and a lot of them did nothing. Monster Squad, I don't care for.
I was fine with it, but I think I was at the right age. I thought it was
quite boring.
Yeah, I get
that. And sorry, Jay. I find Gremlins hard to watch because it's so boring.
Really? I love Gremlins.
I don't know. I've never understood the love for it.
It's again, I mean, we probably were at that also right age where it was like it just fucking, you connect to certain things at a certain age, right?
Yeah.
But I get that. Another haunted house one is The Others.
Yep.
which
Love
was
The
a
Others.
great one. And that was another one where, like, in the theater, that I did not see that twist coming.
No.
And I was just like, this is so brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, we've never seen a haunted house movie from that perspective.
Yeah.
Fucking smart.
And again, one of those movies that are full of these understated, subtle performances that
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere in that movie
It was really great.
Great.
Yeah. So that one holds up.
The Grudge.
Oh, yeah.
That
Sure.
was a house for sure.
That's true. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
And it's still the first time I ever saw The Grudge. I don't know if I've ever been that creeped out.
I just remember, the fucking, it was like the
oh
most
my
unsettling
God.
shit I feel like
So
I
and
ever
the
heard.
boy meowing when he opened his mouth.
Oh yeah,
Fucking hate
the
that.
ghost coming down the stairs
Yeah,
was like so. We
terrifying.
just never had seen anything like that in like North America,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, it was big in Japan, like that style, but we hadn't seen anything like that yet. So it was so
Terrifying.
like, holy fuck, this is
Yeah. And it's still scary. I've rewatched
Very
it and it's
creepy.
still scary.
Yep.
And that house is, if I was ever like visiting Japan and walked by that house, I'd be like, fuck.
yeah,
Cross the street.
yeah, totally.
Like, I don't want to go anywhere near
I
it.
agree.
The Orphanage,
Oh shit,
produced by Guillermo.
right? I
And,
have not seen that one.
You've never seen The
or maybe.
Orphanage?
I have a really bad memory.
Oh, it's really
it's
good.
possible that I did and have forgotten.
It's really good. On the subject of Japanese, Tale of Two Sisters,
That I remember seeing, and that creeped me the absolute fuck out.
it's a scary as shit movie.
Yeah.
Terrifying ghosts and in terrifying places.
Yep.
I just always remember that kitchen scene.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yes.
kitchen scene is they keep hearing something, and then the girl gets down on the floor and looks under the kitchen cabinet where it's only
Right.
like 3 inches high.
Yes.
And there's a fucking woman in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's
super
terrifying.
creepy. Did they do an American remake of that?
Yes, it was really neutered. They
Oh,
took
really?
a lot of the scares out of it. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
Why can't I remember the name of it? I can't remember.
Oh.
But yeah, they did do an American remake, but it didn't.
I didn't even see it because
it
I know that
didn't-
there was other one like that. Dark Water was
Yeah.
and it was like
Darkwater, both are all right.
Okay,
The
yeah.
original's better though.
Yeah.
The remake was with Jennifer Connelly.
yeah, that's right.
Cool story, but it's almost more of it's like a haunting story, not a scary one. Almost more
like
of a
a
ghost
mystery.
thriller mystery.
Yeah,
But it was good. The Japanese version is scarier though.
right. Yeah.
The Innkeepers, Ty West.
You know
I
what's
love.
funny? I wrote that here.
Mhm.
I was talking to my friend Nick about that semi recently, and he's like, "Have you seen that?" And I was like, "I don't remember." And then I started watching it, and I was like, I have seen this, but I have no." And then it's one of those ones where again I had to stop it to go do something, and I haven't gone back to finish
Oh,
watching
really?
it. But I know I have seen it,
Yeah.
and I think I maybe saw it. I could be wrong, but I'm fucking pretty sure the first time I saw it was at a festival like Toronto After Dark
really?
or like a Blood in the Snow or something.
Yeah.
So I know I've seen it. I can't. My memory is the worst.
It's got some really, really, really great suspenseful, creepy scenes. But what makes the movie great is those two lead actors.
Yeah. I like both
they're
of them, and I
both-
forget their names
Yeah, it was just on the tip of my tongue.
because that guy was also in I think another movie, Cheap Thrills, I think, which I
Yeah,
also
Cheap
saw.
Thrills. Sarah
at-
Paxton's her name. I just remembered that right now.
Lee was his name. Lee something that'd be funny if it was no. I'm
looking it up.
Yeah, I know I saw Cheap Thrills also at a film festival like Blood in the Snow.
Pat Healy.
Pat Healy. Okay, it was a name with
Yeah,
3
Cheap
letters.
Thrills was great.
Yeah, really fun.
Wasn't Sarah Paxton was in that too, wasn't she?
It's
I
possibly.
think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're both great in it, and their
Yeah.
chemistry
It's
together
really good.
was amazing.
Yeah. So I do want to go
Um,
back to finish rewatching
And it was
to-
filmed in an actual haunted hotel.
That's amazing.
And the entire
Hotels-
crew stayed in the hotel for the entire
That's great.
filming.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah, I really want to go back and finish watching that because I know I did like it. I just forget literally everything.
Yeah,
that
the
happens to
last
me.
like 15 minutes, terrifying.
Oh, cool. Can't
Great. A little on the comedy side, but House,
wait. I wrote House as well.
love House.
Yeah,
William Catt is amazing in it.
and John Ratzenberger there, or is he in part 2?
No, he's part 2.
Oh yeah,
George
because Norm
Wendt.
is in the first one.
Yeah.
That's right.
But great pace, great story, great effects.
One of the greatest posters.
Yeah,
That's one of my
great
favorite
poster.
posters. I remember drawing
Ding
that as a
dong,
kid.
you're dead.
Yeah, great tagline
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Fuck, what about House 2, the second story?
House 2's fun. It's more adventure-y than scary.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there was some kind of scary scenes in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
super.
did make like a 3 and a 4 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. whatever, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, House is great. Grave Encounters is awesome.
I have to give that one a rewatch because the first time I saw it, I was very so-so with it. And I know a lot of people love it.
And part 2 is great too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know why I didn't really connect with it the first time, so I definitely want to give that a rewatch for sure.
It happens.
I thought of another one, unless you want to shoot.
No, go ahead.
There.
I have a couple more.
There's one that I think it's called Hell House, LLC.
Yeah. I just recently watched those because so many people have been talking about them.
I watched I started watching the first one like a year ago, and I was like, these characters are so unlikable, I can't finish it. But then I went back to rewatch it, and it's like it's a cool premise, and I like the way it's like set up and stuff. It has some creepy-ish stuff to it. It didn't like blow me away.
Are they the ones about the haunted house?
Like the attraction?
The attraction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I've seen the sequels.
It had some cool like
neat ideas,
atmospheric stuff and creepy stuff, but I didn't love them. It's funny that people are like diehard about them.
Really love them.
Yeah, some people really love them.
Yeah.
There's a great little one. It was an IFC film called The Pact. Really good movie. It's basically about a sister who has to go home, and there's family history about that leads into a haunting. But it's got some really unsettling ghost assaults in it that are not assaults in terms of not like but really well done. And also Stir of Echoes.
Oh shit, Stir of
Kevin
Echoes.
Bacon.
I forgot about that. That was a great one.
Really great. It's coming out on 4K next month.
Nice.
And
kind of a forgotten about one too.
Really great ghost story. Kevin Bacon's awesome.
Really cool.
And it's kind of one of those like everything takes place in this little neighborhood group of like 4 houses. Which brings me into also that movie Terrified, which I loved, which is, remember you loved that movie When Evil Lurks?
Oh, When Evil Lurks. Yes. Terrified. I have a list.
Movie.
Yeah, that I got to watch that one.
Yeah, it's really cool. Unsettling.
It's foreign, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So I got to make sure to.
And it's great. It's about 4 houses on the same street that are all kind of haunted by the same thing.
That's so cool.
And it's really scary.
Nice.
You'll really love it.
I really want. Yeah, I have a list of like movies that I keep kind of hearing about.
Yeah.
And it's like even though that one's older, I keep hearing about it, so I wrote it down.
It drove me crazy when Evil Lurks came out because I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
But it's funny that everybody was going nuts for it. And I'm like, watch his first one. The
other
first
one,
one's better. And they're all like, also throw in Monster House. That animated one.
I love that one.
I love Monster House.
It's just like a good family. We watch that every Halloween as well. It's a really...
It's super fun, super
Steve
well
Buscemi.
done, really well written.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that's kind of a like Paranorman a little bit, where it's like people kind of forget about it. They don't talk about it as much as they should.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a family movie, it's like
great.
a computer animated one.
Yeah. Did you have anything else on yours?
No, I got the Crimson Peak and the Conjurings, the Paranormals.
If I'm going to recommend to anybody that hasn't seen some of these, really go after The Sentinel from 77. It's great. Really watch Terrified, especially if you've seen When Evil Lurks and liked it. Yeah. Terrified is so brilliant. I can't tell
Not you. Terrifier, not the Art the Clown one. No, Terrified.
Watch that too, but Terrified is really great. And then always, even if you've seen it, go and revisit The Changeling because it's brilliant and it holds up 100%.
And then for TV series, can't go wrong with House on Haunted Hill.
All the Flanagan TV
series. I like Bly Manor's not as scary, but I still really like it because the cast is so fucking good.
Yeah. Hill House is still the best of all of them.
Hill House is I jump back and forth between Hill House and Midnight Mass. I can't
Midnight Mass, when I rewatched it, I think it kind of pushed it over the edge. And I like it.
It's one of those ones where it's like whatever one I'm currently watching, that's my favorite.
Same.
But then I'll watch the other one and be like, no, that's my favorite.
So go back and watch all of these, folks, now that it's Halloween season, and let us know what you think, and let us know what haunted house movies we might have missed.
Yeah.
I thought I did pretty thorough.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I missed some stuff.
I just Googled haunted house movies.
Let us know. We rely on you. We don't get nearly enough comments, and I want you guys to tell us what we missed.
Yeah.
We want recommendations. We're giving you recommendations. The least you can do is give us recommendations back.
Tell us where we fucked up.
You guys are just not putting any effort into this.
It's like a one-sided relationship, guys.
I know. When we all agreed to start this podcast, you said that you would... Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week. What's your scenario this week?
Oh, boy.
Who do you do a good impersonation of?
I don't know.
Okay, you give me a person, I'll give you a situation.
Oh, God.
What's somebody you do?
Who's
John C. Reilly?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, John C. Reilly is trying to convince NASA to make him an astronaut.
Oh God! Okay, look. Like I've seen some movies about space. All right, like you see that Star Wars with the Chewbacca. can I be NASA's Chewbacca or something? I have a movie accurate hairy costume in my house, and I could put that on me, and you can just fly me right into space, and I think it'll be really cool. I want to see if the moon's made of green cheese.
Okay, I'm fucking loving the new outros. I love this. Next time, I'm totally writing down some outro. Although I like the improv nature of this. I'm cool.
I was
with it.
listening to like fucking impression videos on the way here, and it's like ones I never heard that I'm like, maybe I could, like one guy was like, I'm Jay Baruchel. Oh, that's great. You're a Canadian. I'm a Canadian. That's all great.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can maybe add that to the roster.
Yeah.
Fucking, I wish I could do a Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
That Joe Gaudette,
You'll
that
have to
guy
work
on
on it.
TikTok,
Yeah.
he does like,
His is perfect.
It's shocking.
Yeah,
that guy
it's
is
amazing.
fucking incredible.
It is. It's amazing.
So I probably look like a crazy person driving here.
Trying to do Michael
yeah,
J.
yeah, I'm
Fox in
like,
the car.
Doc. Like that's as much as I got.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, keep working on it.
yeah,
Maybe, folks, one in the future, he's going to nail that one.
I'm gonna get a Brad Pitt impression. I'm gonna nail
Oh, that
that
could
one.
be interesting too.
Ross Marquand
Yeah,
from
yeah.
The Walking Dead.
That's my
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
My micro Brad Pitt.
Yes.
It's this. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
micro. It's a good micro.
Yes. That's
Not
all I
bad.
got.
All right, folks. You guys work on your impressions too. Remember, you're part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this.
Type out your impressions
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah. Okay. Take care, folks. Keep on rambling.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.